We've got an interesting encore show lined up for you, and we're going to start with a fun little story about agri-tourism. A place called Bull Bottom Farms in Duck Hill, Mississippi, west of Starkville, about 75 miles. Agri-tourism is a growing part of the state's economy, and this operation started with an idea.
We were young, just starting to have kids, and we're like, hey, you know, we got to make this make a living for us. You know, it's not just, let's go have some fun.
Just kind of brainstorming and looking around online and trying to figure out ways that you can increase income on a farm. And ag tourism was something that popped up, and I thought, we could do that. I know we could do that.
People from all over come, and they love it, you know. And it just makes us feel good to be able to provide something like this.
The parents are excited about being here. You can tell that they love seeing their kids so excited. It's been more than what we ever expected it to be.
You know, we run into a family and just ask them how they, you know, where they come from and if they're enjoying it. And they're like, well, somebody come from this area and another one came from this, and we just met here and just spent the day together. You know, that's what we wanted to make happen out here.
We have the little kids come out here 4 or 5 years old. Well, they bring their aunts and uncles, and you know, it's a family thing.
You come out here and just, you get to be a kid again. It's so special and sweet to see parents out here playing, pushing them on a swing. Yeah, it's special, it really is.
My father bought this place back in 1943. Bought it from a guy named Jim Bull, and that's where we get the Bull Bottom. And I started farming right out of high school and have now been farming since 1975, so it's about 45 years. We went to high school at Grenada Lake Academy, and she was the prettiest little girl there. So the rest is history.
After we had the kids and all, I used to go to the field and, you know, take lunch and all with the kids and stuff, because I didn't work. I stayed at home, of course, 4 kids. And but we used to go to the farm, to the field where they was working, and picnic, you know. Well, they was raised on the farm, but none of them really was that interested in farming. And
yeah, I mean, I grew up farming with him and helping and all of that, and was getting ready to go to college, and I thought, okay, when I get through with college, that's the last thing I'm going to do is farm.
And I tried to get him involved in farming, and he farmed for a year and got to meet Katie. And once he met Katie, it was pretty much the end of him in the farming.
Nick and I met when I was a senior in high school, and we started dating and just have been together ever since. That was in 1999.
But she had no idea about farming. I used to get her out here whenever we was dating in college and stuff, and I'd get her on a tractor, and you know, everybody thinks they're so difficult to drive, so I'd get her on there and have her disc in a field or something, and I'd get off and I'd go get on another tractor so we could get through early. And her dad's like, you don't need to let her drive one of those tractors now.
Looking back now, he was just flirting with me, I know that, but it was fun though. I mean, really fun. And I got to know his family and just fell in love with them. And my parents said, you're going to college. We don't care where you go, but you're going. So I chose Ole Miss, and he was already farming with his dad and going to school at that time. And he decided he might want a career change, so he came on to Ole Miss too. So we were both there. We graduated from Ole Miss on the same day.
And they moved to Suffolk, Virginia. He wanted to get as far away from his farm as he could.
Virginia was a little far from home. So Nashville, and we enjoyed it, but we was getting ready to have kids, and that's when it was like, okay, we want to be close to family.
I had previously been working a job, and with the economy being what it was in 2008, I was laid off. And I talked with my county agent to see what we could do here at the farm to generate some income.
And we had decided that we really wanted to get back home. And Nick had done row crop with his dad before, and so we knew that the way that the row crop stood, that it wasn't going to support 2 families.
And he said, have you ever thought about ag tourism? I said, I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
We just started doing a lot of research and checking out other farms that already did it.
She got out and was like, had pictures of, 8 school buses in the parking lot. This is all in Tennessee, outside of Nashville, plenty of populated area. And she was saying, well, I think we could do it down there. And, I was like, that's in Duck Heel. I don't know about that,
When we put our heads together, we just decided we're gonna try this.
When I made the decision to try and do this, I was telling my wife, Vicki, I said, I think I'm gonna do this, Vicki. She said, Earl, you have no idea what you're getting into. And she was exactly right. I had no idea that this thing was going to do as well.
And I thought it's going to be a lot of cleaning up to do back there, because it had been a farming place, since Earl was born. So I just knew we had a lot of cleaning up, and I said, we got a lot of work to do if that's what y'all want to do. And I was skeptical about it. I felt like it was more work than we were going to be able to do.
Whenever he got ready to start doing it one summer, we were like, okay, let's plan to move back and help him with this. And it took us a year to get moved back.
The first year we drove from Nashville to Grenada every weekend, 4.5 hour drive every weekend after working all week on the road, because we were both in outside sales at the time. But I mean, it was totally worth it. We knew after the first time we came and did it, we were like, this is it. I remember calling him one morning, and we had already been talking about all this. And I said, Earl, I have thought of what we're going to put on everything. And he said, what? I said, we're going to say Bull Bottom Farms, bringing families together since 1944. And so anyway, he's like, I love it. And I said, because Earl, that's what it's doing. It's bringing us back together. And I said, and people are going to be coming out there with their kids and spending family time together. And it's been about family since the get-go.
One of the things that has really made me proud is I'll see a family that lives in Columbus, one in Greenville, one in Hernando, and they meet here for the day. And that's what goes on.
Kids come out here and letting them experience agriculture and, letting them have fun and just, families together.
It's just nice to see the parents bringing the kids, and moms and dads and grandparents and all, and everybody just loves it and tells us all the time how nice it is and all. And then you see the little ones going home crying after they've been here most all day, and they cry because they do not want to leave. They just want to keep going. Yeah, I love it.
She was all in whenever it got to, us moving back and being back home and working with us, and we all worked good together most of the time.
The first weekend we opened, we probably didn't have 30 people out here. The next day on Saturday, we probably had 50 or 60 people out. And on Sunday, it was the same way. The next weekend, she comes out with cowboy boots, new jeans, she's on board, You can tell if she went and spent some money to get to looking like a cowgirl, she's ready to go then.
Once we started clearing up and had all our ideas in our head and what we were going to do, and I was excited about it. We all were.
This is her backyard. She said from day one, if we're fixing to invite a bunch of people over here, it's going to look good now. We tell her, we say she's the president of the beautification committee.
The little kids come for the things to play on, but the adults, that the ones that love outdoors and gardening and all like that. So yeah, you want the grounds to be pretty.
She and I, we just play off of each other, and we both enjoy a lot of the same things. We like to decorate and that kind of stuff, and so that kind of goes hand in hand with making the farm look pretty and the gift shop look cute, and just all of those kind of things she and I work really good together on.
We couldn't do it without her, because many phone calls she gets, and handling the booking and reservations and all of that. We'll get a school group out here, and I'll be getting them, and I'm like, where y'all from? What school is it? And I don't have a clue what school it is. Like, She handles all of that.
I want every group to feel like they're an only child. So when they're here, they know who their group leader is. She knows where she's taking them. We don't like them to run into each other. When you're at the slide, you're the only class at the slide.
As Katie started working, we do school groups during the week, and she, being the age she is, she was able to communicate with the teachers, which are her age.
Me and Vicki, we hit the road and we went to all the schools that we could get to and started just dropping flyers off and just telling them about, you know, hey, tell your teachers to give us a call if they're interested in field trips. And turns out there's nowhere to go to a field trip around here, so they all started calling, and we'll have something that we can...
I mean, we went and did things together because she's more the business person, and she's got the ideas and she knows how to spread the word, and you know, and so it was nice when they were back.
You know, it's a lot of moms that are bringing their kids, wanting to find something for their family to go do. And so, you know, her opinion and, you know, ideas of what we ought to do or what we should add, or, you know, ways to improve it and make it better and make it a better experience for our customers, like, you know, couldn't ask for anything better.
It is hard work and it can be stressful, but it's totally worth it. I mean, if you have a job where you get to be around your kids and your family as much as I do, I mean, you got it made.
On Saturday morning, when the people are lining up to come in, they're the ones that's going to take care of all that. I may be in the cotton field picking, but you don't have to worry about it. They're going to take care of it, you know. And so they are Bull Bottom Farms.
We take just as much pride in it as Nick and Earl do, really, even though this is Earl's family's land, and she and I just kind of married into it, you know. But I mean, now my kids are growing up out here, so I mean, a piece of my heart is going to hopefully be here for the long run. So, yeah, she and I are just as proud of it as they are.
A whole new meaning to the words family business. And by the way, Bull Bottom Farms is open weekends through November 3rd. Check them out on Facebook.